Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, Dits and Daz Dojo. So it's been a while since I've last made a video. I've been pretty busy at work and, with other stuff. Um, yeah, started learning some French, a bit of Pali, like the ancient Indian language here and there, and, uh, you know, still continue to work full time, obviously, and um, learn CW. So I don't really remember where I left you with my last update, but right now I'm on lesson 28, which is H, and making the video just to update you on this because it was a interesting point in my learning of CW because some time ago, obviously we learned E, then at some point S, then I, right? Then came 5, which is like E D, right? Then I did, then S did, then 5 did. And then, lesson 28 introduced the letter H being did, right? No, did, right? That's it. 4 dits. And it sort of, fits nicely right between S and 5. But then when I made a custom study sessions with these 3 characters, it turned out that I couldn't discern between the 3 of them at all. So they all sounded basically as a continuous wave of dits. And it did take some time to get past that. It did take actually, you know, much less time than I assumed it to take. I was afraid it would take. So after I think about 20 custom study sessions, I was able to, with 100% accuracy, say which character was which, right? Between S, H, and 5. And so what I'm doing right now, so I'm doing the regular lessons, which comprise of all the characters learned so far, including H. And then in my custom study session, I practice S, 5, H, and then on top of that, 3, sort of to prepare my auditory cortex for the coming 29th lesson. So yeah, that's what I'll show you today. So first, a custom study sessions with these 4 characters, and then we'll do a standard lesson practice session of lesson 28. It's going quite good. I did notice that I got used to being surprised by every new character. So because like if I'm say on lesson, I'll show you my progress chart. There we go. That's it. And say I've done 35 5-minute long tries, right? Practice sessions of lesson 27. And, around 30 practice sessions puts me in a place of being completely comfortable with the material covered so far. So I'm just able to very easily discern between the characters I've learned so far, I'm making very few mistakes, and it's sort of a place when I feel that if I was to shorten the Farnsworth spacing, it would I would gradually get to 24 words per minute and no Farnsworth spacing at all, right? So that's, I think, that where I'll hopefully arrive, on lesson 40. I'll do, say, 40, 50, or 60 practice sessions of lesson 40 once I get there, and this will put me in a place where I'll be able to shorten the Farnsworth spacing, or increase it, right, and increase the number, right? So shortening the space up until I reach, the same words per minute speed as I've got the character speed set to right now. So yeah. Um, and then, when I'm there around lesson, right, not lesson, but practice session 30 of a particular lesson, then introduction of a new character every time sort of topples the entire house of cards down. Because then I start confusing the characters that I thought that I knew so well with the newly introduced character, and it's sort of, up until now, I've had 27 cases of my the belief in my ability being destroyed. But I got used to it. So, and what I've also found out is that I'm just practicing this one new character in the actual like lessons, comprising of the whole entire range of characters I've covered so far, and then in the background every now and then, daily obviously, hopefully 3 times a day as well, I do a custom study session with the next character that is supposed to be introduced. And I do it for like 3 to 5, 6 days, and then I introduce the new character into the as a complete lesson practice session, right, with all of the characters, and then it's fine. It's not as painful as introducing it sort of cold turkey without any prior practice of this character, in separation from the entire set. So yeah, and that's it sort of puts me right now in a place where I feel that getting there eventually is, I mean, and also the fact that I've already managed to cover like 28 lessons so far, I do feel that I'll be able to, I'll have the perseverance, and I do have, this, to put it in different words, the skill that I've got, listening ability, is enough for me to actually learn CW in its entirety, which I was doubting very much when starting the entire endeavor of attempting to learn um, all of the Morse code through hearing with Koch method. So yeah, that being said, let's do this custom practice session uh, comprised of, where are we? There we go, S, 5, H, and 3. And then we'll do the normal lesson 28 practice session. Off we go. Okie doke. One error. Okay. That's more than acceptable, obviously. Confused. Oh, 3 with S. I thought it was 3, and it was in fact S. Okay, no idea how I managed to do that. It's pretty different characters, but nonetheless. Dee dee da da. That's probably why. It's not S and M. It's 3. Okay. So so this has actually been my third custom practice session today. Right, so I've been already quite warmed up, but it's going to be my first. It's the 20th of March 2025 today, so it's going to be my first practice session, with a whole set. So we'll see how this goes, because my first session today also didn't go perfectly. You see, it's 93.8, so I've got like 14 characters wrong, I believe. So it was one of my worst practice sessions in a while, right? You see, 99, 99, 99, 198.7, 197.9, so on and so forth. But for quite a while, I didn't hit as low as this morning. I mean, not morning, like, a quarter of an hour ago, maybe 20 minutes ago. But yeah. So let's take a look. Let's give it a go, how it goes with um, the whole set so far. Off we go. Fingers crossed. I got lost a couple of times, but thankfully I've managed to find my way back. One error, which was confusing 5 with 8. Yeah, obviously at this point. Uh, sort of these good results are sort of a surprise every single time, to be perfectly honest. I do feel that I'm sort of meandering my way through the practice session, losing my focus, finding my way back, and every time I get close to 100%, it's almost always a surprise. But I suppose that's what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to automatize. Is that a word? I suppose it is. Automatize the you know um, your um, reaction of your fingers upon hearing the sounds, right? It's not supposed to be sort of that, some kind of understanding or memory, right? It's supposed to be a reaction. It's supposed to be a reaction. So um, I believe that that's what's taken over and taking care of the high scores that I'm getting. It's not really my good memory or it's just the man hours, right? The practice. The longer you sit on it, the better you get. It's as simple as that. Um, Regardless of your talent when it comes to like good hearing, like musical hearing. At some point in my life when I was pretty young, I tried to learn. I obviously played a flute, right? You know, in primary school, everyone did, and I was terrible at it. I couldn't, differentiate between two different sounds. Then I tried to learn to play guitar because I obviously wanted to be a rock star, which I failed at as well because I had absolutely no musical hearing at all. I mean, possibly there was some, but not enough for me to be able to tune my guitar and there were no sort of automatic tuners back then. Um, and no any smartphone apps. Uh, and I thought I sort of approached this whole CW learning thing, thinking that okay, with no musical hearing whatsoever, I just possibly won't be able to learn it at all, and then I'll just have to face this harsh reality and just give up. Well, it turns out that with time and to simply perseverance, right? So that you sit on your butt, do your reps, as is with everything that you're trying to learn, really. That's how I learned German as well. I never learned any grammatical rules or I, basically made flashcards and sort of brute forced everything into my brain, right? And that's how I learned English as well, by the way, right? Just listening hours upon hours upon hours of podcasts and watching movies in English exclusively. And with time, it just finds its way into your brain. I suppose the same happens with CW. So yeah, the takeaway here really is doesn't matter how terrible of a musician you may be, and how many times you may have failed at learning something connected with your hearing and sort of auditory cortex, but the sheer man hours and sitting every day just doing your reps will take care of the job. Right. That being said, thank you very much for tuning in today. Thank you for your attention. And I don't know when the next update will come, but I see you then. Take care. 73.